Look, losira is a very scary player, but naniwa, I don't know what his full potential is when facing against RTS players from a different culture, from a different country that he's never encountered before. The Koreans do have a different way of approaching the game, but naniwa, of course, is a champion amongst champions.
Well, this
Victor of
is,
MLG.
Tasteless, maybe the ultimate match because naniwa is known for studying his opponents, and I have heard that this morning losira was studying naniwa. So
yeah.
These guys are going to know each other inside out.
Over here we have losira at the bottom left, and over here in the center right, we will have naniwa. Note this map is not a GSL map.
No, it is test bug.
It is test bug.
And in fact, for most of this tournament, the Koreans have been thumbing down this because they don't really play this map.
Right.
But it looks like losira is good to go.
So, losira, one of the new and upcoming Zergs. Obviously, he's on the same team as Nesteed. If you don't know who Nesteed is, it's time to stop nubbing it up. Also, if you're interested in seeing anything more of Artosis and me in the future, go to gomtv.net. Watch us at the GSL, the Global StarCraft League in Seoul, Korea. Anybody out there watching the GSL?
I think that's a yes, Tasteless.
I think that's a yes. That's for yes. So, it's a 3-player map. That means you have a 50% chance of finding your opponent right off the bat when you scout him. In this case, naniwa scouts in the wrong direction, as does losira. Just bad luck there for both of them.
I'm super psyched to see what these guys actually choose as their build orders.
Right.
Will naniwa open with a 3-gateway expansion? It's a very safe build, but losira has been playing excellently against it recently with a lot of roach zergling aggression.
Yeah, you got that right, Artosis. Naniwa, he's very interesting to watch as a Protoss player. He's
definitely one of my favorites to watch.
Definitely somebody worth studying. He approaches the game from a very unique angle, and it's a little bit harder to find. A little bit like Kiwikaki, or White Raw, where they definitely have their own way of approaching the game. Now, remember, losira, generally speaking, only trains with Koreans.
Yeah, that's certainly true.
Now, the Korean pro gaming scene can be a bit insular at times, so occasionally when Koreans encounter high-level foreign players, they're a bit caught off guard by what kind of strategy they're going to employ there, oftentimes seeing stuff they're not normally used to. Although, with that point being said, Koreans tend to be a bit more adaptable when it comes to RTS games, historically speaking, of course.
Yeah.
To confronting a new situation and overcoming it on the spot.
Well, the one good thing for losira is that naniwa is kind of like a Korean-style European Protoss. Right. He is actually, one of his biggest strengths is his build orders are so ridiculously refined. This guy has the tightest, best build orders you can even find for Protoss.
Yeah, it's very tight, very clean. Here comes the probe now, peeking out. And it looks as though we're going to see, well, it looks like an expansion, if anything, with a pylon on the low ground. That's generally an indicator of such a thing.
We might be seeing a 1-gateway expansion off 1 gas. That would be pretty wild, Tasteless, because speed is on the way, but again, he doesn't have a second gas. He's making that pylon down there. A stalker popping out to take out the Zergling, but the Zergling sees only 1 gas. That is actually pretty huge from losira. Normally, a 1-gas Protoss build will be, just the crazy 4-gate that Choya is so well known for, where you just make a bunch of Zealots and Stalkers and go.
So let's see what he decides to do. He's going to do it.
What is this? What is going on here, Tasteless?
We do not see this build clearly. It's a very calculated build that naniwa has planned out specifically for late, deep into this tournament. When you're a champion, you have so many different builds that you need to use very strategically each time you go on into a tournament, so that as you get deeper, you have the better builds you're using, so you can hide your secrets until the very end.
Now, here's the thing, Tasteless. He is making a couple gateways to help make a wall. A sentry is coming out. He has 2 stalkers, but losira is making some extra speedlings. Speed upgrade has finished, and with naniwa should have about 1 force field when these speedlings get over there, and he's making 12 more, man. He's going to get super aggressive on naniwa right away. I think he smells some blood in the water.
It looks like he's going to try to wait until this next... Oh, my God, he's expanding again. Excuse me. He's going to try to wait for this next group of Zerglings to come out. And the question is, will he keep making Zerglings, or is he going to revert back into an economic game after sending the initial group of Zerglings in there? I can guarantee you this is a build losira has not encountered. As this one I've never casted.
And some speedlings coming up here, checking out exactly what's going on. There is only 1 sentry out at the moment. Here come the rest of the speedlings, and that's a very small area. What will naniwa do? Well, he should be force fielding pretty quickly here. or he's going to be in a lot of trouble.
Wow, he waited until the very last second.
The absolute very last thing. A couple Zealots warping in, and naniwa with a sick build. I've never seen anything like this. And Tasteless, you know what else he's doing right now? He's getting a Stargate. He is going a 1 gateway expansion with 1 gas into a Stargate and holding Massling. I don't know what's going on here, man.
You know what's funny about this is that this is so based off the positioning of his structures. It's such a calculated build. Because, you know, when you look at it on paper, you say, what? You can't go a 1 gate expand. You get overwhelmed by Zerglings. But when he makes a pathway like this that they have to run around, that he times out with just 1 perfect force field, this is insane.
Tasteless, if we take a look right there, we have a Roach Warren, and he's going to go a Roach Warren while droning up with only 2 queens against naniwa, who's making a Void Ray. I think that's the last thing that losira would expect right here. And that Void Ray, if he does follow it up with some Phoenixes, should be able to go over and kill the 3rd base of losira if he ends up finding it.
He sees the Void Ray. Clearly, naniwa very comfortable revealing the Void Ray, so there's no element of surprise with this strategy. He will encounter this Overlord over here and probably take it out. Meanwhile, back in losira's base, he's droning up. 8 drones on the way. Also, we see an evolution chamber, so both players, to some extent, investing into at least the mid-game, probably the late game.
Quite right, Tasteless. Now this Void Ray should be able to take out that Overlord quite easily, and that will not quite supply cap losira. He's very good at keeping up with those Overlords. He is starting to make some Spore Crawlers around to defend all this, and I gotta tell you, man, this build order, I am actually getting nerd chill after nerd chill because it is just so tight, so awesome. He truly has the best build orders I've ever seen.
Yeah, naniwa is definitely a guy who doesn't just practice against people, but practices alone by himself against the computer, training. I'm not even joking about that. Training to get everything set up perfectly, his structures, positioning, sitting there thinking to himself, what is the best way to approach this?
Quite true, Tasteless. And that Queen microing back and forth. He's got to be careful with it. Doesn't want to get it lifted up. More Phoenixes on the way, getting that +1 attack as well. Just upping his probe count and working on his economy. Losira is up in supply just a little bit, 79 to 62, but not a huge deal right now.
The Overlord will be taken out here. Now, when you use Phoenixes and Void Rays together, it makes the Queen much less effective as an attacking unit here. The Queen, if you pick up, we were about to see it there, but the Spore Crawler was burrowed. But right now, Losira having a tough time trying to keep up. If you look at the supply difference, though, naniwa is actually a little bit behind Losira. Losira cranking out a 10 of Overlords and prepared pretty well.
Well, he is. You know, naniwa has, well, he's going after these Queens right now, but he has invested heavily into Stargate units, which means he can't really kill Losira. And it looks like he's going to go after this Queen. Spore Crawler does burrow right there, and naniwa not losing his units. Very nice control there. Now, Tasteless, here is the interesting thing. When you see all these flying units, what you should do as Zerg is make a ton of drones, and that is what he has done. He's already up to 65 drones against 49 probes, so the economy of Losira is pretty sick as he adds some more macro hatcheries and gets his upgrades and unit production going.
As you can see right now, a little bit of map control from here with naniwa's Phoenixes, the Void Ray, but for the time being, he's just teching up. He looks like he's going to take a 3rd base, and I think this is a strategy that's sort of based off the Zerg not actually seeing it in time. I think Losira's Overlord is a little bit misplaced, not really spotting for anything here.
And here he goes again, harassing this mineral line. Very nice job by naniwa, really keeping active with these units. And look at that, a lot of drones going down. Beautiful play by naniwa, and a little bit slow on that Spore Crawler from Losira. Suddenly, well, you know what? We just watched him kill how many drones, Tasteless, and guess how many drones he has now? He has 72, more than last time we checked. Losira is a drone-pumping machine at the moment.
We do see a cannon here. It's still no expansion. naniwa's build seems to be getting a little bit off for the time being. Making a cannon this early, but staying on 2 bases a bit,
you know, I don't think
confusing.
I don't think he could have hoped to have done better with his flying units, with the Phoenixes, with the Void Rays, but still, it's 139 supply to 109. Losira getting far ahead on the drone count, and then macroing up later. Now, we do have Colossus production on the way. We do have Thermal Lance on the way as well.
By the way, guys, don't forget to upvote us on Reddit, not just under StarCraft, but under games as well. And please, you know, start plugging or hashtagging MLG on Twitter. Looks like Losira is going to take out the destructible rocks over here at the gold base. If he takes this gold base, that means that naniwa has to react very quickly. He cannot allow a Zerg player who's already got an additional base on him to get away with an economic jump like this.
Well, Tasteless, right now we do have Naniwa picking off some creep tumors. Great move with the Void Ray. He has just been so active. This is some of the best Void Ray harassment I have seen. Just really going around the map and getting the absolute most out of this. 3 Queens out here now, lifting one up, lifting this thing up to take less damage, and it looks like he may take some of these out, Tasteless.
These Queens are being picked off one by one. That's going to be a lot of additional minerals that the Zerg is going to have to spend remaking those Queens rather. And of course, that's going to be a lot of larva injects that are lost. You don't normally see Phoenixes and Void Rays do this much damage this late into the game.
Yeah, no, he's doing amazing keeping these alive and everything. In Tasteless, we have 84 drones against 67 probes. This is getting into an insane macro economy game. I am just so happy right now. This is exactly what I wanted to see.
Only one observer on the map, and as you can see, due to the graphical change here on the roaches, they are in fact able to burrow and move. So if that observer is caught or not in position, it could be bad. Naniwa doesn't exactly have a large army.
Oh, very nice force fields right there, using the terrain of the map to trap some units up front while the roaches just wash up against it. Naniwa, he is down 52 supply right now against the already max losira, but he is microing just brilliantly.
Okay, the roaches, the Zerglings, moving in now. This might be a risky move, a little bit dicey here from losira if he is going to engage in this location.
Oh my god, Tasteless, his force fields are just out of this world. Beautiful splash damage by those Colossi. And look at this, he is tearing into losira's army.
Okay, why is losira attacking here? This doesn't make any sense at all.
I don't know, Tasteless, but I think I need a nerd blanket for all these chills I'm getting watching this sick high-level game.